go. This is Josh Olmsted. Welcome back to Northwest Disc Golf's coverage of Round 3 of the Zootown Open, presented by REALTY Group. This is an A-tier event out of Missoula, Montana, and we are back at the Sky Ranch Disc Golf Course. If you're enjoying our coverage, please don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any future Northwest tournaments. And once again, joining me is Nick Marshall of Odin Disc Golf Bags. You
Hello.
all set, Nick?
I'm all set and ready to watch the end of a great round.
Absolutely. So going into the back nine, Christian is lighting it up with a 6-under par on the front nine, giving him a 9-stroke lead over Justin. Matt and Ben are a few strokes back, and right out of the gate, hole 10. This is a really cool hole, 273-foot par 3.
Triple Mando.
Yep. So you've got to stay inside of these trees and stay under that end of a banner out there.
Got it.
And you can see Christian landed right by where the drop zone is if you miss it.
Nice.
And Justin also. That's
Very nice.
much better. That's perfect. Yeah, he's going to have an easy birdie there.
Ooh, little high.
Yep, and getting... Oh, and he just misses it. Made it through the trees, but didn't keep it under the banner. I don't think I've ever seen a triple mando like this on a hole that's this far downhill.
There you go.
You see it a lot more
Nice
on
job,
sort of
man.
open field holes
Right.
that are nice and flat.
Sure makes it interesting, though.
Yeah, and for the tournament, it actually averaged dead even par in the MPO field, but with a pretty wide split, 29% birdie, but 25% bogey or worse. And as you can see, Ben here has got a long chance for par, and unfortunately, he's going to drop at least 2 strokes to Justin here.
Yeah,
birdie.
it's never easy.
Yeah, and
Just got to roll with the punches, though.
even though right now Christian's sort of running away with the lead, there's definitely a strong competition to get into that final 5 grouping, get a chance to play 8 more holes here at Sky Ranch.
Right, looks like Matt and Justin are really fighting it out now.
Yep, and there's definitely a lot of strong, highly rated pros on the chase card who are right on their tails. So Justin and Matt get nice birdies there on hole 10. Chip just a little bit into Christian's lead as we move on to hole 11.
Yeah, you can never count out that chase card.
Yep. 267-foot par 3, back into the woods we go with another approachable par 3. I really like this blend of these, very grueling, long forest par 4s with a lot of these fun, technical par 3s. Ooh.
Well, they're the must-haves. Those we get a good mix. It really keeps everybody sharp. That's for sure.
Yeah. And it just makes for more variety, a lot of fun. No one likes a course if everyone's just getting par on every hole.
Sure. Right.
So Matt tails off a little bit left here. We'll see if Christian can nail it down the pipe. And that's looking pretty good.
Just as good as you could probably get there.
Yeah, we'll have a 15-footer uphill. That's probably a tap in for him. And, Ben catches that last tree. That was tracking right at the pin.
Still have a nice look at it, though.
Yeah, you can just see the top of the pin from over the hill. Plays up and down over a little rise here.
Looks like Justin might end up losing a stroke on this one.
Yeah, he'll have a challenging putt for par. So here's Matt for a
Get it?
long birdie.
Ooh, he wanted that one.
Yeah, he was giving it a run, but it's tough that far downhill.
Focus was there. It's a little high.
Yep. Yeah, he's had 3 or 4 of those between round 2 and round 3 that are just a half inch off. Feels like he's putting together the drives, and it's just a couple putts off from catching Christian, who puts together another birdie. Only birdie on the card.
Just a silent killer, You never really see him do anything super, outlandish, but just continues just to play solid.
Yep, he's not making 60, 70-foot birdie putts. He's just putting consistent drives near the basket and not missing when it counts.
That's what it's all about.
So,
some could argue.
yeah. So hole 12, 200 and 98-foot par 3 back to the sharply downhill par 3s. This one has a very tough green to stick. There's a fence about 35 feet in front of the pin, but it is not actually any sort of OB line. It's just a normal obstacle.
So yeah, it's kind of a guardian. You know, if you're behind that, it's not an easy putt to get over it.
Yeah. Yeah, it averaged about a third of a stroke under par, one of the easier par 3s. And interestingly, it's one of only only 3 holes that did not net a bogey all weekend.
No bogeys, huh?
Yeah. I think it's, it's sort of a gentle right-hand hyzer, and as long as you don't hit any of those first couple trees, the hole just sort of brings the discs down and toward the pin, although you can see Ben, he found out what you can do when you throw it too hard on these sharply downhill holes. And, yeah, Justin also throwing a fast driver. That's really getting down there in a hurry.
But should have a look at it.
Yep, he's right by that fence I was mentioning earlier.
Solid up there. Here's that fence.
And we'll see if it gets in the way or if he can give another good run.
Matt wants it.
Yeah, Matt, he's got to keep his hands off that barbed wire.
Ooh.
And much like Justin's, it's hard to know if that just having that fence right in front of you makes it a little harder to throw a good putt. And, Christian as well. So.
Obviously did something.
Yep. So with Ben's tap in there, looks like everyone here is going to grab 3s. First all par hole of the round.
Star par.
Yep. Nothing wrong with that though.
You know those bands there. Sometimes people complain about them, but they get hit a lot. They definitely do.
Yep, they definitely act as a good barrier. So Christian holding strong with that 10-stroke lead as we move on to hole 13.
That's a pretty looking hole.
Yeah, this is actually an extra hole. This would be 13A in the regular course, 305-foot par 3. And it's a nice open hole for these players to attack. Definitely a tough hole for right-handers if you don't have this forehand.
Yeah, that tall grass is OB on the left side, yeah?
Yeah, I believe so. So yeah, you really have to be careful and keep it to the right. And I think it's good for courses to have, that's actually safe back there, so that fence is also not an OB line. I think it's good for courses to have, at least 1 or 2 holes that really force players to throw a forehand. If you can only go in one direction, you're going to get beat. And, all these guys on this card definitely have both directions covered.
Yeah, so you can play it this level, you gotta have an answer for that.
And didn't quite see where Justin's landed, but I think he's putting for his birdie. Oh, Matt.
I think that may have been OB.
Yeah, looks like Matt actually did come in from OB, so he is going to be taking a bogey here.
Woo.
And a Ben.
There's a good one.
Huge birdie. Getting his mojo back.
Slightly downhill there, too.
Yeah, that was a solid putt.
Oh, uncharacteristic.
Yeah, he just sort of lifted up. Looks like he just didn't keep his head down. Brought his hand up and nailed the band.
It's hard to keep focused the whole time,
Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's a very direct putt, right in the center of the chains.
It's nice and smooth.
Yep.
We've all been there.
Yeah. Matt knows that's not the kind of hole you want to bogey, so Justin doing a little bit of work. He's cutting the lead back to 9 strokes and putting together a good round at 5 under par. Christian, though, still setting the pace as we come to what is the signature on the hole on the course, hole 14, Holler Hill. This is an 843-foot par 4, longest hole on the course by far, and a real massive pull for these players. Probably one of the only holes on this course where you can throw it as hard as you can and really just lay it out.
Speaking of holler.
Yeah, looks like Ben is making sure to get the attention down there. He really got a hold of that. That's probably a good 550 feet downhill. There is a little bit of OB on the left. Once you get down there, you'll see there's a tall grass line that funnels in towards the pin, but it doesn't really come too much into play until you're about 200 feet from the pin. Justin there is right out at the edge of it. This averaged about a third of a stroke under par. One of
That's nice.
actually one of the easier par fours, despite being a good 280 feet longer than any of the other par fours on the course. That's a great shot for Christian.
Yeah, you've seen a couple of good rips at it, you know.
That thing is stable, Matt. Yeah, it is.
As long as you don't go
Stable strike.
too crazy and hyzer it out, just get something straight and good distance on it. Should be looking at a birdie.
Yep. And Justin, pretty long way to the pin, but wow, that is a beautiful upshot. That's probably about 350 feet, and he is right under the pin.
Just parked it.
Okay.
A little short. Ooh, good skip.
Yeah.
Went from short to a really good birdie look.
Yeah, I know these are the type of holes that, you know, I feel like pro players really feast on because, you know, they have the distance and without any trees, they have the accuracy.
Just like field work.
Just like you're on the practice range.
Yeah. Fun.
So Ben has a nice shot himself. Let's see if he can clean up from about 28 feet. There you go. Great birdie. So Ben's had a couple in a row now.
Ooh.
And once again, Christian missing the second short birdie putt in a row.
Yeah, gotta stop that bleeding, which I'm sure he'll do soon.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, sometimes when you've got a big lead, you get more relaxed, and sometimes when you get a big lead, you can just get a little bit sloppy.
A little too relaxed, huh?
Yeah, and unfortunately, that cost the group their star frame, so everybody but Christian's going to take a birdie, and
Well, they're probably not disappointed about that.
the group's maybe going to start making a move. So Justin cuts the lead to 8, gets up to 6 under par for the round. Ben and Matt at 2 under. They're probably needing to fight the chase card here because, you know, there's some people down on the chase card that are going to get 5, 6, 7 under par on this round. As we move on to hole 15, 236-foot par 3. Unlike most of the course, we actually have an uphill par 3 here, but it's pretty simple. Just make it through the first gap and sail it all the way to the top.
How much did you say this hole had been birdied the whole tournament?
It actually had no bogeys for the whole weekend, 2.7 for the round, so one of the easier par 3s, about 30% of the field getting birdie, and the rest getting pars.
It's one of those nice ones that you can kind of lick your wounds if you got a bogey or, you know, even a par that you wanted it to be a birdie, right?
Yep. After a couple of those big holes, it's nice to have something where you can just throw it right into the hill, not too long.
Ooh, almost.
Justin almost gets that. Definitely some nice guardian trees. I definitely like that almost none of the greens on this course are really unguarded. You know, you always have something in your way.
Right.
En route to the pin. But looks like no one's quite putting in their birdie putts. So 4 missed birdie putts, and looks like we're gonna have another all-par hole.
That's the thing about these, you know, birdie holes in tournaments is you almost put too much expectation on yourself, and it gets in your head because of how easy it is, you know.
Yep. Sometimes it's those must-makes that kind of make you throw a little bit squirrely.
Right.
So we move on to hole 16, 285-foot par 3. This is a really cool, sharply downhill tunnel shot. This might be one of the steepest downhill holes on the course. Once you get through the gap halfway to the pin, it actually opens up quite a bit, so really just one main gateway, but you have to take it. There's no other way to get through here.
I was surprised that I didn't see anybody take a overhand shot at this, but maybe there's just no gap up there.
Yeah, you probably have to go pretty high. I think it's doable, but I feel like these guys just want to take the safer shot, don't test the trees.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that gap's definitely there.
Looking good.
And so far, 3 out of 4 making it down there. Matt's got a really nice drive. He's just a few feet from the pin. And Christian lays down another nice putter shot. Ooh, but he looks like he grabbed those branches. So he'll have a long run for birdie. But no need for him to get risky and run that. I think he might have just been playing that for a layup.
Right.
Ben wasn't, though, and just comes up about 4 inches short, strong side.
Hell yeah.
Justin's turning it on.
Yep. He's putting together a really good round, and really largely on the back of that good putting stroke. He's made quite a few of those 30-footers, which,
Right.
if you're going to win a tournament like this, you have to make pretty much everything 35 and in.
Yeah. What is 1,000 is about six to 7 down out here?
Yep. It's right about 7 under for 1,000 rated round.
Okay.
So Justin and Christian now tied for the round at 7 under, and the lead is down to just 7 strokes, with Matt 3 strokes behind that. As we get to the second to last hole, and the last of the short par 3s, 240 feet, about the 7th or 8th downhill par 3 on this course. A lot of fun, mountain golf. Here you just want to float it down. The pin is to the right of this road, so unfortunately you can see Justin there just let it sail a little bit too long.
You have a death putt for a bird.
But yeah, it's a tricky shot because you got to put it on an Anheuser and keep it low at the same time without
Do
getting
about
caught
that?
up. Yeah,
Right
that's
about
about
that.
perfect. Yeah, this whole average dead par, which actually put it on the harder side of the par 3s for the tournament. About a third of the field getting birdie, and about a third of the field getting bogey.
This is my kind of hole as a lefty.
See?
Uh-oh.
Yep, when you can just play that nice hyzer and skip it off the road.
Sure. I tell you what,
Oh,
after watching
jeez.
this, wow, great putt. After watching this, I really would love to go out and check this course out. It looks so much fun.
Yeah, I've been very lucky to play a decent amount of Montana golf. You got the good scenery and really wide open land. A lot of these courses just tend to be very have a lot of wide space.
There it is.
That's a great birdie for
There's
Matt.
the birdie.
So Matt, despite struggling a little bit this round, maybe finish off with a couple birdies and get into that final 5 grouping. He and Ben are definitely right on that cut line.
Right.
It's a nice birdie to get. As the rest of the group is tapping out 3s, Ben got a 4 on this hole. And with that, we're heading into our final hole, hole 18. Definitely a top of the world
It's a good
hole.
spread now, but Matt and Justin are right there.
Yep, 411-foot par 3, wide open field hole. Always nice to end a course with a big wide open.
Justin,
Definitely.
great meeting ya.
Nice and open.
Hey, great to meet you, man.
Definitely
Good
attainable.
plan, man.
Yep, it's a good birdie opportunity. These guys all shake hands. Good group of guys.
Christian just said, "All right, just dumping this down. I gotta give Justin a hug." That's how friendly everybody is in the disc golf community. It's a really great community, I tell you.
Yeah, definitely a lot of sportsmanship on display.
Right.
As Matt hyzers out a little bit here. Kind of hard to tell if there's wind out here in the open, but you really have to keep it nice and straight on a long shot like this. Justin takes the forehand hyzer line. Ends up
Looks like you got a line there.
about 50 feet from the pin. Yeah, this whole average right about par. 75% of the open field getting par, so not a lot of birdies, not a lot of bogeys.
Ripped it.
Yeah, Christian clearing the hole, throwing closer to 500 feet there off the top.
He just wanted the ace to end it.
Yeah, end it in dramatic fashion.
Get a little time on Sports Center with that one.
Exactly. Go for the top 10, why not?
Yep.
Nice shot for Ben there. It's about 35 feet away. Here's Matt.
Smooth. Oh, very nice. What a way to finish.
Yeah, finishes birdie, and
That puts him right in there with Justin.
yep.
Good hug.
Yeah, and with that, Matt wraps up. He does make it into the final 8, so you will see him back in our last segment of this coverage.
Hopefully with more putts like that.
Yeah, maybe put on some fireworks and get up there into the top few positions. And Justin, who holds second overall,
Oh man, I thought he had that.
almost finishes it with that dramatic birdie.
Sounds like somebody else is shooting birdies in the background.
Here's Ben.
Ooh,
Oh, so
tough.
Matt with the longest approach ends up getting the only birdie on hole 18. You can see Ben really definitely wanted that. He knows that he's going to be right on the line to try to get into that final group.
Great round though.
Yeah, so
Some good play and good competition.
So after 3 rounds, we will see you back for the final 8. We've got 5 guys. Matt, Justin, Christian all make it. And we will see you again for the final 8.
See you guys.